All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight on our 21-day Healthy Holiday Challenge. And I'm sure you're wondering, what does that mean? So I am Beth Black. I am a TLS trainer and TLS coach. That means a lifestyle coach. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I absolutely am very passionate about helping people move their life in a healthier forward direction. So we're going to get started and be able to just run through this. I hope to be done in about 30 to 35 minutes. I know you're all busy, so I appreciate you joining us tonight. And again, I just want to thank you for joining us. We know your time is very valuable. So with no further ado, let's look at why we're here. First of all, I want to share with you, before we get into why you're here, why are we here? Really, honestly, I'm passionate, but this is not just about me. But we are a team of people who all have created a community of people who support one another moving forward in better health and better lifestyle. And so with that being said, if we can truly touch and positively impact the health of, say, another 20 to 30 people this month, in the holiday month, end of the year, we know that we're going to be well on our way to impacting 1,000 lives in 2019, which is our goal. And so I ask, why are you here? You know, I don't know why you're here tonight. Some of you are desiring better health. Maybe you already have good health and you're looking to just stay healthy through the holidays and through the winter, keep your immune system strong. Maybe you're seeking quality weight loss or, proper body composition. We're going to talk about that and how that leads to health. And maybe it's just that you'd like some more energy. Maybe you don't have enough energy to get through, the day, the weeks, the month, and it's just pure exhaustion for you. Or maybe it's just that you absolutely love to learn more, because honestly, when we're on a health journey, we can never learn everything. Every day I learn something new, and it's so exciting to be able to be so just invigorated by life. I had a great conversation with an old friend today who I caught up with after a number of years, and just headed in the same direction. Very exciting and just so powerful to talk to people who are headed in the same direction. And when I say same direction, that's up, not status quo. So I want you to know that weight loss, and I'm going to refer to this not as weight loss tonight, because really when we lose something, what happens? We go looking to find it. So it's not about weight loss, because we don't want to then find the weight again. And I know I'm kind of being funny, but it's the weight loss industry. But really what we're looking to do is gain health, and maybe instead of weight loss, look at body fat loss, losing the body fat or decreasing the body fat so that we can get better body composition, to get the better reshaped body, the better health, the more energy, the more positive mindset, whatever it is for you. But I want you to know they're not magic. It is truly simple science, and I'll touch on a little bit of science tonight. I know I probably have one or two of you that are going, yay, I love science, and the others are probably like, ugh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. So real quickly, let's get started. I do have to tell you the statements in this presentation have not been evaluated by the FDA. We are not intending to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. We are simply here to pay it forward and help you to be able to get what you want out of life. Our goal really is to help people rise to the occasion to thrive instead of settling to survive. That's a bold statement. But why do we say that? Because in our country today, in our world today, so much is designed for us to not thrive. The negative impact of what we listen to, what we have in our food systems, what we don't have in our food systems, what we have just everywhere around us is a very negative environment. And that's why we build positive communities of people moving in the same direction. So I feel we have to look at the problem before we look at the solution, because when we look at the problem is the cause. And I want you to know, have total control over changing that. So are you ready to just say no to sick and tired? You're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, or you know other people who are sick and tired and you want to help other people. Whatever your reason for being here, we're all going to just rise to thrive in the next 30 minutes. It could be weight struggles. It could be health. It could be pain. It could be emotional pain. It could be physical pain. It could be energy issues. It could be mental clarity or anxiety. It's different for every one of us. But I'm going to talk about the obesity epidemic first, because this really plays into everything else. It's not just about obesity, but let's look at this real quickly. If you look at the top left, in 1985, these are the charts that were collected on the obesity percentages in the states. So you can see that most of the states didn't even have data. Go to the right of that 10 years later in 1995, and you can see every state has data. And we're somewhere between 10 and 19% of the people in every state are now considered the obese marker. Then you jump 10 years ahead to the bottom left side here in 2005, and you'll see now that we really don't have very much blue, do we? We're jumping in numbers just in a 10-year gap. Jump ahead 5 years to this one, and you'll see that we've got another jump, another gap. So let's jump another 5 years and go to 2014 to 2016, which is the last time we have real good clear data for right now. And you'll see that majority of the country is now in this deep orange or brown and orange. Well, what does that mean? If you look over here, it's greater than 30% and greater than 35% of the people in those states are considered obese. What does that really mean to us? I'm sure, like myself and like all of us in this group, we all have seen this increase. We're seeing it happen. We're seeing it in every age group. Body shapes are changing. And I want to tell you, it's not necessarily your fault. It's not your fault, because some of this was designed to happen. And like I said, it's not just about obesity, but this epidemic and change is happening because of some very key things that I'm going to talk very briefly about from a science standpoint, and that's glucose and insulin. We have to get down to the cause, because your body can heal itself, and within each of us is the solution to make that happen. And when we understand that glucose and insulin triggers so many other things in our body, you're going to see how it affects us. So the cause is within. What we do towards the solution creates an effect. So we're going to look at the health effects. Well, these are the health effects of obesity and elevated body fat. And this isn't the end of the list. These are just some of the more common things. But because of us being conditioned to think that every condition will be better with a medication, we tend to think medications are controlling it. Or maybe you're like me and you're the one that says, I'm just going to refuse. I don't want this prescription. And you say, I'm just going to deal with it myself. But my question is, are you still suffering? Are the people around you still suffering? So whether we choose to go on the meds or not go on the meds, we have to do something about the cause if we want to get the solution. Because when we look at this list, they're telling us, the statistical people out there are telling us that by 2020, and I know that sounds so futuristic, but that's only like a little over a year away, you guys. By 2020, 1 in 3 people in the United States will be diagnosed with diabetes, type 2. That's huge. That's 1/3 of our population will be getting that diagnosis. The sad fact is, right now, so many people are pre-diabetic or diabetic and don't have the diagnosis. So the diagnosis is going to start being given And you're going to see that. Just like we saw an increase in thyroid complications, you're going to start seeing the diagnosis of diabetes. And what do the doctors say? Here, take this pill or take this shot, and you should change your diet, and you should probably exercise more. And in defense of the doctors, they didn't sign up for this epidemic. They were not educated in the cause or the root causes. I'm so thrilled to say that there's more and more health professionals today doing their own personal research and working together in their communities to be able to move them ahead in the science of nutrition and the science of getting well, because that's what they truly signed up for, most of them. But, people don't die from diabetes. People don't die from high blood pressure. People don't die from autoimmune and mental illness. People die from the complications because diabetes, glucose, and insulin are the gateway to all of these other diseases. They're the gateway to mental illnesses, to cancers, to cardiac disease or heart attacks. All of these things come from a diabetic condition. So here's the thing. When someone takes meds and they go on meds, it does things like blocking and stopping the body from doing what it's supposed to do, or it shifts things and moves them in a different direction. Well, the body's not designed to do that. So if I could put this in simple terms, look at it that when you take a diabetic medication, all it's doing is pushing glucose into other areas of the body so that your numbers are going to look good. So now when you go back to the doctor says, oh, your numbers are looking good. We need to keep going the way we're going. But you're now not feeling so good. And you might just say, this is my new way of life, and deal with that for a few years, and everything looks good in your numbers. And then all of a sudden, boom, the switch flips, and you show up at the doctor a couple years later, and you're not feeling so good. And now things are in a worse situation, or you have another diagnosis put on you. So let's just wait and take a deep breath here, because honestly, this is an alert. The glucose belongs in your body. It has to go somewhere. But if you have too much of it being produced, it's going to start degenerating other parts. So whether you're on a med or not on a med, if there's just too much glucose going on, it's going to throw off all of your leptin hormones, etc., which I'm not going to go into tonight, but it starts to degenerate other parts of your body. So think things like the brain, Alzheimer's, mental illnesses, fatty liver, neuropathies, even as much as your skin with wrinkling and things like that. We have to fix our cells, the root cause, the cellular level, to get well. And the good news is it can be done. So why are we doing a healthy holiday challenge? We've done this so many other times, so many other years, and we pretty much do it every year as a group because so many people are going to go sign up in the month of December for another gym membership, or they're going to sign up for weight loss programs. All the advertisements in another week to 2 weeks are going to start for all of these things on TV and in all of your news media. But what goes wrong with weight loss? Let's look at the word diet. What's the first 3 letters of diet? Die. Is that by accident? I'm not sure, but it's just interesting that it is the first 3 letters. My mother always said it's a 4-letter word. Don't use it because honestly, whatever you put in your mouth is your diet. Whether you put it in or you don't put it in, it's still your diet. Diets don't work. Typically, diets have a beginning and an end to them. I'm going on a diet. But we don't typically stick with that lifestyle. It's not a long-term lifestyle because, quite honestly, most of us are going to want to be able to go out with friends. We're going to want to be able to do things in proportional control, but we have to learn how to do that. And it takes some education to learn how to do that. No different than we have to learn how to balance our finances. We have to learn how to do our jobs. We have to learn how to do laundry. We have to learn how to cook. It's no different. We have to learn how to do things. And so, on here you'll see all calories aren't created equal. We all know that if we eat the same amount of calories in carrots as we do in a piece of cake, the results are going to be different. It's not calorie in, calorie out, which is what we were taught in a lot of diets previously. So we have to really address the root problem here and what's going on. And so we have to focus on the cause, which is why if you look at the word health, the first 4 letters in the word health are heal. The first 3 letters in the word diet are die. Again, coincidence? So when we talk about focusing on the cause, we're going to focus on the stressors that lead to disease and weight gain. Within this cause, you're going to find the solution. So my question becomes, why is now the right time for you? Why do you want things to change? Why do you want to take action? Because we all have the right to choose these things at any given time. And I think truly what I've learned in my process of coaching over the last almost 30 years now, we really make changes and decide on a change when we know our greater purpose. When we know that we are worth what we were put on this planet for. Your purpose is worth it. You are worth it. What do you want that feeling of energy and health for? Because it's not about just losing the weight or decreasing the body fat or getting rid of the pain. It's what do you want to accomplish because that has happened. That's what will drive each of us to make the changes we need to make. So is it your kids? Is it your grandkids? Is it a ministry? Is it something you still feel that you have a need to accomplish in this lifetime? What is it for you? Because it's different for every person. But as we go down the route, there's always obstacles. And when we look at obstacles, I'm going to say all of these things have affected most of us at some point in time, if not many of them every day. But the only thing that sets you apart from somebody who's had success already with getting their health where they want it to be, the only thing standing in your way is yourself. The system of lifestyle, TLS, which stands for Transitions Lifestyle System, the system works. Our coaches, most of us have truly been where you are, and thankfully someone lended us a helping hand. They gave us guidance. They gave us encouragement. So what if there was a program that was comprehensive, customizable, backed by science, and focused on a lifestyle approach, and had proven success in improving your health and look? Sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? And that's what I felt because I was trying to put all these pieces together years and years ago. And then TLS Lifestyle or TLS Weight Loss Solution was born. And I was truly living a TLS lifestyle prior to this term coming out. It's been out now for over 20 years. But truly, it's a long-term, sustainable, and safe program. And I say program, but it's really a lifestyle. It's really something you can live with for the rest of your life. My husband and I have a mantra. It's eat well, exercise, and supplement intelligently. And we're going to dive into that because the TLS Weight Loss Solutions is really 4 components or 4-prong approach. And I'm going to go over each of these briefly because it isn't magic. It isn't magic at all. It's purely just science behind all of these 4 components that help us get where we want to go. You don't have to understand the science if you don't want to. You just have to follow along and embrace it. And we create communities of people moving in the same direction so we can all support one another in a positive environment. So low glycemic impact eating is not just eating low glycemic foods. It's not like you're going to have to eat vegetables the rest of your life and that's all you get. No, it's a balanced lifestyle so that you can have that occasional drink if you want it. You can have that occasional dessert if you want it. You can have, your cake and eat it too. Now, I'm not telling you can go out there and eat cake and candy and cookies every day and be healthy because you can't. But there's a time and a place and there's ways to create some of those things. And for those of you who love cooking, there's going to be great ways to be able to get good, healthy recipes and be able to find new ways of making things. We just made for Thanksgiving some really cool stuff that was just a remake of old dishes that we were familiar with, but they were made healthier. You're going to end up with new favorite foods. And quite honestly, people always say, well, I need fast things. I need fast food because I don't have time. Healthy eating is one of the fastest on the go foods ever. So I really want to just encourage you that we're going to look at your whole body as a canvas. Okay. We're not going to restrict food groups. Think of it as a canvas. If you are an artist, you get to determine what goes on that canvas. Well, think of your canvas as your palette or vice versa. When you cleanse your palette, you will be amazed what happens of how fresh and clean your palette is, and you now get to determine what goes in it or on it, just like an artist. You become your own artist. You determine what that picture is going to be. Now, I'm not any grand artist, and I honestly have some friends who are fabulous, fabulous artists. But we're all an artist in some way, shape, or form. We just tend to think of artistry as a picture, a painting, but it's not. It can be anything that you are good at, that you really work towards, and you have a passion for. That's your artistry. So we're not going to restrict any food groups. We're going to teach you how to actually be able to balance and clean your palate to enjoy new favorite foods. And then exercising, a lot of people think of this as just, reshaping the body. And although it is reshaping the physical body, I want to say it's way more than that, because it's reshaping the brain. It's reshaping your mind. It's reshaping your spiritual being, your emotions. We are made up of so many things, and it's not just the physical components. And so when we look at this, we look at every aspect of what you're going through to be able to get people where they're going. Again, bringing us back to what is our purpose. And then the fourth prong is intelligent supplementation. And like I said, we always say eat well, exercise, and supplement intelligently. Why intelligently? Because there's a lot of garbage, junk supplementation out there. And so I found it very important for me many years ago. And your coaches that invited you to this, or someone who invited you to this, has been through the program possibly and agrees with what we're talking about, because they've realized it really isn't magic. It's just simple science. And if you just put one foot in front of the other and surround yourself by people who are moving in the same direction, you too can adopt a new healthy lifestyle. But supplementation is one of those things, it's meant to be a supplement. We do need to eat well. However, I'm going to show you something that if for the month of December you're not ready to make a full commitment to making changes, there are some things that you can add, because sometimes it's easier to address adding something than taking things away, especially during the holidays. We know that for some of you, if you're in traditional families of, well, this is the way we do it, I get that. And so sometimes it's easier to just add something to help it so that you're not going to have the weight gain, and maybe finish off December just getting enough energy to get through, not getting weight gain like most people are going to do. So again, I just want to congratulate you for taking this time to be here tonight. Supplementation is meant to fill the gaps because our foods are so void. And so when we look at food changes versus a supplement, we address each person totally as an individual. And then we determine where to start based on your commitment level and what has the most meaning to you. So it's going to really depend on you. So when we look at the 21-day healthy holiday challenge, we're looking at that we're going to start somewhere, and I say give or take a day, somewhere around December 1st, because everyone's going to be a little bit different based on when they're ready to start, based on schedules. But start around December 1st, end around December 21st, right before Christmas. And so we can really focus in on finishing 2018 strong, because I can promise you, I've done this enough years. If you finish 2018 strong, you will start 2019 right. If you don't finish 2018 strong, it will take you probably 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks to get 2019 started off on the right track, and then most people will collapse. The reason we do something in December is because we know that people, when they join a group in December, move their health forward for the entire next year and most often beyond. So when we talk about the 21-day, challenge or whatever, I just want to say that TLS is for anyone and everyone. Like I said, it's simple to learn. It's backed by science. The science is there to back up everything we're going to go over here in a minute, but it's completely comprehensible. Yeah, comprehensive. It is comprehensible, but it's also customizable. So again, it's going to be based on what your needs are, based on what your commitment level is. What are you looking to accomplish? Everyone is different, but it is completely a long-term lifestyle program that you can fit into anything and everything. We are going to actually teach how to eat. So some of the things just other people have walked away with, just to give you a couple of quote statements that people have shared with us. Being a challenge put me in a competitive state, which helped me focus. Some people are competitive. Maybe that's you. You need that competition to fuel you to move forward. Another person said the 21-day challenge showed me I can make healthy eating a lifestyle change, because so often we've started a diet, we've changed for a week or we've changed for 6 months, and then we go back to our old ways. That's not what we're looking at here. We're looking at long-term solutions so that we can get back to having health within the body and the mind and the soul. Another one, I've changed not only my life, but my family's. That resonates with me personally, because when I know that we can touch the next generation, and quite honestly, right now we're dealing with the next generation of diabetics that are just off the charts, unbelievable numbers. They need our help. And so we are headed in the right direction to be able to help each other and pay it forward. And then another one, this program has worked wonders for me. I've lost 28 pounds. Now, when somebody says that, I in my mind say, I hope she doesn't find the 28 pounds, or I hope he doesn't find the 28 pounds. It's kind of like losing your keys. You go find them. We want to make sure that we are reshaping the body and the mind to be able to create a lifestyle that's going to give you everything you came here for. And so what is a 21-day challenge? Briefly, I'm going to go over just what's in it and what it actually incurs, and then go over some other options for if you're not ready for this type of commitment. In the 21-day challenge, we're going to have week 1, which is really a detox phase, where we're renewing and replenishing the body, flushing the body of the toxins. It's going to clean the palate so that amazingly, and I know if you've never done one of these, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do that. But amazingly, what happens around day 3 or 4 or 5 is the palate quickly starts to get a change. And all of a sudden, you're not craving the sugars, what I call doof, which is stuff that's supposed to look like food, but it's not really food. It's processed. It's processed components. Those do not feed our body. Some people will say, well, I can't afford healthy food. I promise you, we teach how you can afford healthy food. Every time we do a survey and we go through, it actually costs less for somebody to be on a healthy lifestyle than it does on a non-healthy lifestyle, unless you are buying all your foods out. And honestly, if you're buying all your foods out, you're not really on a healthy lifestyle, because quite honestly, in the restaurants, we don't even know what we're getting. Even when you go to the expensive restaurants, you don't know what they're putting in the food. And then phase 2, day 8 to 21, we're getting into a fat burning phase where we're repairing and reshaping the body. If you have weight to lose or fat to lose, this is where some of it's going to start coming off. If you don't have fat to lose, it's only going to put your body into a very toxic-free state to accept nutrition at a higher level and get better results on the cause to be able to get the effect. So these are the things that go into a 21-day challenge kit, and I'm just going to briefly touch on them. We're coming in for a landing here. I'm going to be about 5 more minutes. But basically, you're going to get shakes. These are high in protein and fiber. They can act as meal replacements if you're in a hurry. They can act as support throughout the day, so you're not grabbing the wrong things. Excellent, excellent shakes. You're going to get the 7-day cleanse kit. You're going to be able to go over these with the person who invited you here to get more information when we leave this webinar. I'm going to actually hone in on these 3 products here, because although these all bring health, these 3 are long-term health products, and I want to explain why. We talk about the science behind products. That little white and blue bottle is called Core, and Core has a ingredient in it called Leptocor that is very, very well studied. I can honestly tell you, drug companies would beg to have this kind of results from their studies without the side effects, that long host of side effects that are on all the commercials that they go on and tell you it may cause death, it may cause this, it may cause that. Here's the beauty. When you're taking a natural supplement that's made well and has good solid science behind it, good quality ingredients, it will do the things to help the body get where it's going. So we all understand cholesterol. We all understand body fat decreases. And I'm sure you're reading all this now. But I want to hone in on just a couple things. Fasting blood glucose down 8% and C-reactive protein levels down 15% and leptin down 47%. Those are huge, you guys, to the whole glucose and leptin thing that I was talking about at the beginning. So when we look at the whole glucose and insulin and leptin, all of that's going to be related. This is a total long-term health product for even when on those days where you might, want to have something that isn't the best choice. That's a day that you really want core. If you're on a gain health and decrease body fat and increase body composition into the right ratio of muscle to fat, then this is a great product for you. That's why it's in the kit. But here's the thing. Serum serotonin up 28.6%. Do you know anybody that needs happy in their life? Serotonin is our happy hormone. It increases. So people report that they actually feel more energetic, not just from the cleanse, but from having another supplement that supports them long term. So again, it's not junk products, it's the science. When I look at those two other bottles are our Isotonics multivitamin and OPC3. These products personally changed my life almost 23 years ago. And I stand behind these with, I would just stand behind them with my own body. What you're looking at is what we call our whole daily essentials kit. So they're essential nutrients that the body needs, meaning we don't make them in our body, so therefore we must take them. But the Isotonics delivery is a very effective delivery. It's in a crystal format that looks kind of like gelatin in its dry state. When you mix it with water, it becomes isotonic, meaning it's the same pressure as our body fluids, and you drink it. So the absorption is very fast, but in addition to fast absorption compared to a vitamin tablet or a pill or a capsule, what's important is the nutrient distribution or the bioavailability of that is very high. It's been shown to be 90 to 95% bioavailable to the body, so it's getting out where it belongs. Whereas a pill or capsule, by the time it breaks down, our physician's desk reference tells us it's 15 to 30% bioavailable. So you're getting a bigger bang for your buck by getting the nutrients in the system. So get with the person who invited you to learn a little bit more of how you can put these into your body to get the kind of results you're looking for. Again, the multivitamin and the OPC is in the 21-day challenge kit. But these are daily essentials that fill the gaps of not being perfect and not always, eating. Think foundational health. Now, trim tea. I could not talk tonight without bringing up trim tea. Why? Because again, like I said before, sometimes it's easier to add something than take things away. So if you're looking and saying, I cannot possibly commit at this point in time to doing a 21-day challenge, my life just isn't in that place, I would tell you trim tea might be your answer. Think of this. It basically shows that people can lose body fat and get metabolic balance and curb their appetite so they can push away from the table easier and maintain normal blood sugar levels. But I want you to see this. The studies revealed that it was after 10 weeks. So one box is not going to get you the results you are looking for. Please do yourself a favor. If you decide trim tea is your answer, don't purchase just one box of trim tea. Purchase 3 and give it a wholehearted try. I know we have somebody on this call tonight who she did not get results at the 10 weeks. She went on a few weeks after that, and then all of a sudden it was like, boom, it started just melting off and she started seeing the changes. We don't know what it's going to be for you. This is the studies. So you might be longer, you might be shorter. I know people who have lost it in 3 and 4 weeks they start losing. We don't know what it will be for you, but I will tell you the study is 10 weeks long. So when we go into the 21-day program, whatever you choose is the right thing for you right now. If you choose to want a little bit of education, and I'm saying a little bit because we're not going to bombard you with education. We know it's December. We know you're busy. We know you're crazy. But what we want to do is give you little tidbits of information to carry you through each day, keep you focused, keep you on target, keep you moving where you're looking to move. So we put together private Facebook groups, and we're going to create a little Facebook group for anyone who's on here tonight who commits to moving forward with this 21-day, whether it's Trim Tea, whether it's the 21-day challenge kit, or whether it's the daily essentials kit. It doesn't matter, but whatever you choose is the right thing for you. We're going to be teaching you how to eat. We're not going to be teaching you what to eat, but how to eat it. It doesn't mean you can't have a Christmas cookie, but you need to know what to do if you're going to have the Christmas cookie so you don't eat the whole bag, okay? Or the whole tray, I should say. How to eat in balance with everything through the holidays and be able to set yourself out for a lifestyle of health and wellness. Okay, these are just some of the ongoing topics that we talk about with our customers. We're going to go through these. We actually have an entire 12-week program as well, but now's not the time to start a 12-week program. But I want you to know this. Think long term when you think education, because it's about learning how to get healthy, but it's also about how to stay healthy. We're going to address things like alcohol and sleep because it's important. There are so many people on this call from all over the country who have stories of their own to share. So we'll be sharing some of those stories because we want to pay it forward. If somebody did it for us, why can't we turn around and do it for someone else? So if you're somebody who's ready that wants to share and pay it forward to others, just let us know because we're looking for more people to join this mission, because honestly, it takes an army for us to make changes in our society today because people are being bombarded by the masses of other stuff. Okay? But I want you to know that depending on your goals and your commitment level, we have so many programs and supplements and vitamin options and coaching available for you. So your job really is to follow up with whomever invited you tonight and figure out something customizable, even if it doesn't fit exactly what I just went over. Because for the next 72 hours, you're going to be able to receive 10% off your customized program. Because good habits are as addictive as bad habits, but they're far more rewarding. So what kind of habits are you going to go into 2019 with? I want to encourage you all to rise to thrive. Get with the person who invited you. Don't delay in doing that. Commit to rise. And I want to just quote a dear friend of mine. He always says, don't die with your music in you. We all have a purpose to shine. And I want you to be able to find out for 2019, what does that mean for you? Where are you going? And how can we all support one another to get there and grow that mission to 1,000 people in 2019? So thanks for joining us. I hope to meet each and every one of you in our safe online private Facebook community where we all share and support one another. And cheers to better health. Have a great night, and thanks again for joining us.